Etli Taze Fasulye, a Turkish household staple which translates to meaty fresh beans. It is an easy to make and nutritious one-pot dish that's full of green beans which are said to have many health benefits. And it's surprisingly tasty too, so let's make some in this episode. You will need a few ingredients such as canned crushed tomatoes, a medium-sized onion, waxy potatoes and minced beef, a few garlic cloves, tomato paste, salt and cayenne pepper. Last but not least, fresh green beans which we washed and need to clean by removing the edges. These French green beans don't have a stringy thread running along its body, so don't bother removing it. Just grab a handful, gently knock against the surface of your table for them to align in position and cut off the ends. Turn around and repeat. In order not to bother with a knife when eating, cut them into 5 cm or 2-inch long pieces. When cutting, do it a bit diagonally to increase the surface area of the incision, which should help the beans to soak the flavors of our one pot more easily. It should look something like this. Next up, chop up the onion, not too coarsely, not too fine, and just place them on the minced meat, as we will start cooking them together. By the way cooking, let's move over to the stove and begin. Place a big enough pot over medium heat, sprinkle a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil in there and dump in the onions and minced beef. Sauté together for 3 to 5 minutes till onions become translucent and almost no more red spots remain on the meat. By the way, it seems that the Turks generally don't bother about browning the meat and deriving more flavors from the Maillard reaction when preparing stews. I noticed the very same thing when creating our tavuk sauté video, a healthy high-protein chicken dish which we prepared a few months back. And I must say, I sort of prefer this time-saving approach, especially on busy weekdays. Regarding the meat, the fattier, the more flavor it will infuse into your stew. I went for grass-fed beef with 15% fat here, and I think it was just the right amount. Enough to add some richness to the dish, but not overwhelmingly so. Next up, make some space in the middle and add the tomato paste. Here again, the Turks seem to do it differently, as they sauté, or to use the Turkish translation, beat the tomatoes, which is said to add more umami to the dish. Do this for a minute and then mix well. Make some space again, sprinkle salt as well as cayenne pepper on there and wake it up, meaning exposing it to some heat for 30 seconds or so before combining. Lastly, mix in crushed tomatoes and add the green beans and continue sautéing together for another 5 minutes. You can use this time to peel and cut the potatoes as well as thinly sliced 2 to 3 garlic cloves, but remember to give the green beans a mix every minute or so. Add the bite-sized potatoes as well as sliced garlic, mix and pour in enough hot water to cover all ingredients. Bring to a boil, reduce the temperature to low, put on the lid and let cook till potatoes are fully, well, cooked. Check in on your meaty Turkish green bean stew every 5 to 10 minutes, mix and top up with some more hot water if necessary. By the time the potatoes are done, the green beans will have lost their bright green color and softened considerably. This is how Turks prefer it. And if you prefer your green beans firm and crispy and are about to write this dish off without even trying, think about all the flavors for a second which the green beans must have soaked up here. When the potatoes are done, turn off the heat, cover and let sit 10 to 15 minutes for the flavors to unite fully, which will turn this rather healthy dish into a comforting one as well. You came home from work on a rainy day and not sure what to cook? Give this green bean dish a go. Just remember to use waxy potatoes as I mentioned before. Here you can see the little sandy layer coming from overcooking the floury potatoes, which compromised the texture of my dish a bit. Still, it was super enjoyable. Slight fruitiness from the tomatoes, the flavor and richness added from the right amount of meat and its fat, as well as a very subtle spiciness which tickles your taste buds and enhances the whole eating experience without sweat drops running off your forehead. Hence, this easy to make meaty fresh beans recipe from Turkey deserves an overall 8 out of 10 and moreover makes it into our weekly meal rotation. Give it a go and enjoy. Afiyet olsun.